Good afternoon from Sacred Space at Titania's Realm. Right, my darlings, I've been very busy the last few days. Today I finished off making this recycled chandelier sun catcher because the chandelier got all rusted, so I pulled it apart. So I finished that today. And then I went back to my studio and I thought, oh, what else can I do with my day? And I decided to try and sand out all the weird, what look like watermarks, but are actually glue, I think. So I sanded them out, but I got new marks, and I don't even know what those are. And I was sanded so assiduously that I've actually made a bit of a boo-boo here. So this thing is driving me mad. I've tried everything to get it perfect. This has got to be about the 20th time I've sanded it back to try and get it perfect, and I'm scared to touch it anymore. Seriously, we're down to big gouges now. So I don't know what I can cover that up with, but I'll think of something. Anywho, but it does actually, while I'm filming, I can see all the colours that have come up in the timber. So I've sanded it back and it's had another coat of varnish. And I've got to wait for it to dry. It's going to take 2 hours and give it another coat. Might do that tomorrow because we're getting the evening misty, dewy cool of the afternoon. So look, honestly, even though there's a major boo-boo and it's right in the front, which is a bit distressing, I decided, because I'm quirky like that, but I can't do anything about it. So I decided to add the extra hardware I had for it, which hadn't been put on since I initially sanded it and kind of, repurposed it. So I've just finished screwing on, I bought 2 pairs of hasps, so fortunately I had the spare pair of hasps to use on this. And I think I demurred at using them because it curves, and I was worried that it wouldn't work, but it's worked. And I also bought this several months ago, this sterling silver tea for my name Tanya, or for Titania's Realm, take your pick. And I decided to nail it on this one as a small compensation for the boo-boo up here, which I was going to put it to cover the mistake, but it didn't look right. So I'll have to think. If anyone has any ideas on what I can do to cover this mistake, or I might just have to learn to love it, let me know. I did try colouring it in with colouring in pencil, but that didn't work. So, but look, even though it's got a mistake, and there's a few mistakes actually, but I'm loving the way the timber has sort of reflected little glows of light with the power. You know, to me, it's not perfect, but it's still a magical piece. Mainly because I've put so much work into it. If it ain't magical by now, it's never gonna be. So, anyway, this is what it looks like from above. Let me see, how can we do this? Yes. And do you want to see what's inside it? Alright, hang on. Ta-da! All my little things I've been making over the last year and a half. So, my little Titania's Realm. That was going to be a ring holder, but I remembered, funnily enough, that I already made ring holders. So, there we go. All my little bits and bobs. The ring holders don't really work too well. I've got to find a softer foam that sits them in. But yes, we've got all our little, there's another one that's fallen out. Oh well, the thought's there, right? It's the thought that counts. I'm trying very hard to get this happening in a far out way, in case one day in the near future I decide to go to a market, which I'm not very fond of going to markets, but there is that. So these are all my handmade ebony and inlaid power shell beads, and those ones haven't got, where are they? They've got no inlay, but they're just plain black ebony. I've tried to sell them on Marketplace, but no one was interested, so nah. If nothing else, they'll make lovely birthday or Christmas presents, which is not quite the point really. The point was to, you know, try and have a little hobby that generates a little bit of an income, a little bit of an extra income, but we're living in the middle of a zombie apocalypse. Oh, look people, look. In the middle of a zombie apocalypse. But we've got, it might be a zombie COVID apocalypse, but we've got a king parrot. Look. See, I don't really care about my Titania's round business. I just take delight in all the beauty that surrounds me. Who needs money when you have this for free, right? Free. Now that's a sign. In the middle of talking about my business and all my worries, here comes the king and the queen. The king and the queen are in the house. I'll try and get them. Where are they? Hard to see because she's tucked aside. There they go. Well, wasn't that a beautiful distraction from all my... Oh no, there's some more. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The king parrots are very active today. How delightful. Well, there you go. They don't come to the garden very often. I see them once every few months, so that's exciting. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, in the midst of a zombie apocalypse, when everyone's worried about whether we'll have enough food to live on and eat, it's going to be very, very difficult to sell jewellery. Oh, on that note, about the selling jewellery part being difficult, I really love this one. I might even keep it for myself actually and start wearing it. It's just beautiful. And this one. So where was I? This was the very first piece I made out of a fork. My very first attempt at making stuff out of flatware. And this was the last spoon I made recently. A little bangle. So, you know what, like money or no money, I keep myself entertained doing this. Takes my mind off all my troubles and worries and paranoid fears. I'll show you what else I've got to show you. On the subject of food scarcity, I was telling my neighbour from down the road, Peter, and I was having a little chuckle about it. Because they're lovely and all, and gave me this lovely Colour Bond veggie patch. But all I've got in it is 2 tomato plants and 4 spring onions. It's not going to be enough to eat in apocalypse. And I've got to beat the possums and the wild birds and the crows and the turkeys at the produce, because they'll all be, you know, helping themselves when everything's ready to be harvested. So, but anyway, look, let no one say that I am not trying my very best to survive the apocalypse, because I've got my food happening, I've got my garden beds happening, I've got passion fruits over there that aren't doing very well. I've got 1,001 mother-in-law tongues that I could use to clear the air in the offices or sell to someone, I don't know. I've got coffee, I've got lime trees. I've got reasonable contentment. Elderberries in the fairy corner over there. So, you know what? It's all very good. It's all very, very good. And look, you know what? That box looks kind of fabulous from a distance. It's only when you get up close you can see the big ma there. Oh, I wonder what I can do to cover it. I mean, it's not like I'm selling it, so it doesn't really matter, but it's just I've tried so hard to get it right. But look how it shines in the light. Maybe I could cut very carefully a piece of mother of pearl and put, like, I don't know, something to cover that, and then I'd have to put something on that side to match it. Anyway, let me know, people, if you have any grand ideas on how I can fix that boo-boo, because the discolouring from the glue and all that razzle dazzle doesn't look as bad as it used to look somehow. Maybe I'm in denial, but it kind of looks like it's blotches rather than a fiasco. This one's a bit weird, but I tried sanding it back, and it's embedded, so that's how it's going to have to be. But doesn't the power come up beautiful? It just looks so pretty, all the blues and greens. I just love it. Mama T, the big child in the fairy Titania's realm. Just love it. Alright, I might bring it inside, because if I bring it inside, I could probably do another sneaky coat of varnish indoors. Anyway, I think that's the plan. Have a beautiful evening from Titania's realm, people. Love to all. Bye for now.